Namaste. Welcome to the first of a series of videos on obtaining sufficient restful sleep. I am Reverend Jessica. I am a trained ordained spiritual counselor. Here's my quick disclaimer that I am not a trained medical or psychological professional, nor am I a sleep therapist. And so in these videos, I seek to provide information about sleep. It is not to be regarded as advice or as treatments or diagnoses. And so here is my information based on my own spiritual training and my own personal journey with sleeplessness. I have always had a challenging relationship with sleep, and so based on that and my spiritual training, I am sharing some things that I have learned along the way. And so what we all know, whether we're a sleep professional or not, is that sleep is essential for our well-being, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And imbalances in any of those facets of our lives can contribute to not so restful sleep patterns as well. And so it can become a very unfortunate cycle. You know, I experience an imbalance in one, and then it leads to an imbalance in our sleep, and then they kind of feed off of each other. And so as we embark on this journey to support our restful sleep, it helps to get to know ourselves. Or if we are supporting our children in getting restful sleep, it helps to get to know them. And so the main gist of this video is to know thyself. And here I am going to provide some areas to work on being observant or mindful in until I have the next video up and posted. And so first of all, we're going to look at what exactly are we experiencing when it comes to restful sleep or lack thereof. And so one thing to look at is how easily do you fall asleep? Are you staying asleep all night? How long are you staying asleep? Are you waking up sometime in the middle of the night? Can you go back to sleep? When you wake up in the morning, do you feel really tired? And how easy is it to wake up in the morning? And so these are some things that you can record in a journal, or if that's not a very convenient option, at least you can kind of mentally take note of it. And next, moving on, there are some other factors that we can make note of too that are affecting our sleep. We can take a look at external or environmental factors, such as the room temperature. Are we a comfortable temperature? Is there something about the bed that's comfortable or uncomfortable? Air movement, sounds, light. What is it that we're observing around us that is affecting our ability to sleep, both positively and negatively? So we can also pay attention to things that are working for us as well as not so much. We can take a look at our mental and emotional states, especially as we are preparing for bed. What's kind of, going on in our head? How are we feeling? And we can also kind of watch this about ourselves throughout the day too, because it's all, one cycle. It's like a continuous flow. We can look at our bodily discomforts, such as internal things, achiness, pains anywhere, perhaps one might be experiencing illness or dis-ease, or hormonal cycles. So these are things we can mentally make note of or put in our journal. Dream activity can affect our restfulness. How are your dreams? Are they really active? Do you remember much of them? Do you feel like you've been out of body when you sleep, or do you wake up feeling like you've been working all night? That's a spiritual thing in my realm. And also celestial and astrological events can affect our sleep, and so we can mentally make note of the cycle of the moon, or other astrological things when we're having some interesting sleep patterns. All right, so that's some factors, both, internal and external. And another thing to kind of pay attention to is to have a sense of what your bedtime routine is. Do you have a bedtime routine? Or is it just something you wing, every time you go to bed? So you can look at the time you go to bed. Is it early in the evening? Is it kind of late at night? Are you in a position where you sleep during the day? I'm not judging any of it. And a lot of this is kind of unique, to everybody as individuals. Also look at your wake-up time. Perhaps there is a time that feels most comfortable to wake up daily, that your body just naturally, it's awake, it's active, you feel rested, and anything, sometimes getting up earlier, just doesn't work, or getting up later, you feel funny. So that's something to pay attention to. Take a look at your food and drink consumptions, especially a few hours before bedtime. You can also look at it, throughout the day as well. How close to dinner time or supper time are you trying to turn in for sleep? What kinds of things are you eating throughout the day, and how does that affect your energy levels, and also your mood and how you feel at bedtime? Take a look at physical activity throughout the day. Do you feel like you are moving enough, or too much? Is most of it at a certain time of day? Spiritual practices can definitely affect our ability to get restful sleep. kinds of meditations do you do throughout the day? What kind of energy practices, and so on and so forth. And finally, another thing to mindfully watch is our kinds of conversations that we have with ourselves, our internal dialogue, as well as with the people around us, that we live with or interact with, especially around bedtime. And so as we look at all of these different areas of our life, we can kind of get a feel for what relaxes us, what stimulates us, what kind of makes us sleepy or gives us another wind, or in general, kind of what is working for us and what are some areas that could use a little bit of love and attention. And so in the next video, after we have had a moment to kind of look at these things for a few days, we can look at tools to support us in our troubleshooting in getting sufficient restful sleep. Thank you for joining me and bearing with my checklist. There is a PDF of it available on the website in the video description if you are interested in having something in print to look at. Namaste and bright blessings.